The love that stayed despite betrayal and denial. Today's Gospel reading is John chapter 13, verses 21 to 33 and 36 to 38. And we have Jesus at the table with his disciples, and it says that Jesus was deeply troubled in spirit. And soon after, Jesus says that one of you will betray me. So it's very clear that Jesus had this troubled spirit because he knew in his heart that one of his own disciples, the ones that have journeyed with him for the last 3 years, was going to soon betray him. And then we see that Jesus' love, despite knowing Judas is the betrayer, yet his love for all the disciples is constant. He still reaches out and offers Judas bread, and Judas is literally eating out from the same plate of Jesus. Then, after we see that Jesus is also telling the disciples that he is going to go away from them, and where he is going, they cannot follow him. All these things deeply trouble the disciples, and we have Peter saying that he is ever willing to follow Jesus, and he also declares that he is willing to lay down his life for Jesus' sake. And then Jesus predicts Peter's denial, and he tells him that he is going to deny Jesus 3 times the very same day before the cock would crow. Sometimes we too are like Peter. We also have this feeling that we are better than the other, we are not like every other sinner around us, and we claim to be devout Christians, devout Catholics, and followers of Christ. Yet, when the time comes, we see, like Peter, we too fall short and we also fail. We give into fear, into doubt, and we are not able to keep up to our promises. Betrayal, we see, cuts deep, especially when it comes from someone you trust. And in Jesus' case, it came from someone who was living with him, moving around with him, and he was mentoring them and coaching them and teaching them and loving them. And yet we see that he was willing to betray Jesus. However, Jesus stayed firm in his commandment of loving them right till the end. Then we see that Judas, when he goes out into the night, the darkest of nights, for Jesus, because his hour is coming. Yet at that time we see Jesus saying, "Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him." So this is a message of hope that no matter how dark is the hour upon you, how bad the trial you are facing, that there is the opportunity for God to be glorified in that moment through you. So there is this message of hope for you out there if you are facing these really tough challenges and difficulties in life. So even when we fail or we fall into temptations like Peter did, what matters is getting up. So what we need to do is take responsibility for our failures, fixing our messes, and recommitting ourselves to Jesus, and rebuilding and restoring this relationship that we have with God the Father. So God isn't looking for perfection, because Jesus knew the hearts of each of his disciples. So he knows our hearts. So yet even when we fail, deny, or run away from him, Jesus stays on unshaken by our flaws. So Jesus still offers us his love. He still offers us bread at every Mass during the Eucharist. So, do we too sit at the table, take the bread he offers? Are we receiving him and yet betraying him? Are we receiving him and yet denying him? This is my short reflection for today's Gospel reading. God bless you. I will see you tomorrow.